Here in just a few minutes, and I want to thank Lindsey Williams for joining us. I do want to put out a program note here. My film, The Obama Deception, showing out what the bankers are really doing, how they're engineering this, how he's their puppet, just like Bush was, but to betray the people, how they're bringing in the gun control, the FEMA camps. It's going to be out now in just about 7 days. You can pre-order the DVD right now at Infowars.com. It'll also be up in high quality next Sunday night. At the end of the show will be the premiere, 6 p.m. Central. It'll go live at PrisonPlanet.tv for PrisonPlanet.tv members. There's going to be a DivX copy up there in high quality to download and burn to DVD for activism. So the ObamaDeception.net or Infowars.com. Get involved in the fight today. We got to expose this puppet for what he is. Lindsey, speaking of films, every week now you do a DVD update breaking down what's happening. You go into a lot more detail than you've been able to here on air with me butting in and adding stuff. Give folks that toll-free number who want to call and get that.
Toll-free number, 800-321-2900. Would you like to know everything that the elite told me that's planned for you for the next 1 year? It's 2 DVDs. That's correct. You watch them on your television. 2 CDs, over 5 hours of viewing and listening, either in your automobile or at home on your TV. 800-321-2900. You've got to know about the Baltic Dry Index. I plead with you. Let me tell you what Vita Locke told me in southeast Colorado last weekend. Folks, you don't have to...
The farmers are going bankrupt.
800-321-2900. Now, our operators have been busy all week long. They were so tired they almost collapsed on Friday. I persuaded 2 of them to be on the lines this afternoon. That's right. Right now, you can call this number. I begged them to be on Sunday afternoon because
Give them the number. Give them the number. We're going to go to calls.
800-321-2900. 2 DVDs, 2 CDs. Get them. I beg of you.
And wake people up. These are key tools. Thank you, Lindsey. Let's go to phone.
By the way, they're not copywritten. You can copy these and give them to everybody you want to give them to. Just get the message out.
All right, let's jam in as many calls as we can. Nathan in St. Louis.
God bless you, Alex and Lindsey from the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 1, St. Louis.
Sir, your phone's really bad. Go ahead and make your point. Sorry.
Okay, Alex. What is your opinion on the rumor that Hillary Clinton signed an agreement with China that granted eminent domain as collateral for U.S. debt? And, Lindsey, how does that go against or play into Big Oil's New World Order agenda?
Okay, it's not a rumor. Under the IMF and World Bank plan, big companies that have bought T-bills, our infrastructure is pledged. The particular website that put it out that there was a specific deal with China, that guy's disinfo, and it's meant to discredit the serious story. Lindsey?
We had to do something in order to get China to buy our T-bills, anything, because the Federal Reserve 2 weeks ago said we're going to stop buying American T-bills. They've never done it in the history of the United States of America because they knew that the dollar was about to collapse. Yeah, you're right, Alex. It has to be.
All right, and again, I'm going to people quick. Thank you for the call, sir. We appreciate you as well. Mark in Wisconsin, you're on the air. Mark, welcome.
Hey, Alex and Lindsey, thanks, both you guys, for everything you're doing. I'll try to make this quick. I was thinking about the whole vaccination scandal that's going on recently, and I remembered how sometimes in Hollywood and such, they'll, years ahead of time to subconsciously acclimate, the people to a certain scenario. They'll put things out ahead of time, and then, years later you'll look back and go, oh, that was the plot of a movie or whatever. Well, Mission Impossible 2 was actually the basic idea of what was going on here this last week with the vaccine situation. It was, viruses combined into a super virus that makes it more easily, transferable among humans, creating a pandemic, and then, so a pharmaceutical company can therefore cash in on the mass need for the.
And one of the issues I've got going on is I think the phone problem is on our end. So, Hooge, I'm going to have you take these calls from in there. For some reason, problem with the phone box in here. You want to comment on staged terror, staged biological weapons releases by the elite?
Positively. I beg of you. My 8 DVD set, which I didn't even talk about a moment ago, one of them is entitled Vaccinations and deals with the problem this gentleman just called in about. Again, I beg of you, 800-321-2900, and one of the DVDs on my big 8-pack concerns that, Alex.
Well, I mean, it came out that they were trying to mix bird flu in with vaccines this week.
Yes.
It's just, you can't make this stuff up. It's just too insane. Let's go to J.D. in Hollywood. J.D., you're on the air.
calling you from the brainwashed capital, but I'm a Canadian. It's nice out today. I can't see any chemtrails, so I guess even on the seventh day, the soft killers need to rest. I liked your story about the carpet cleaner. If I were you, I would have told him that he missed a spot underneath the gun rack. Anyways, I have a question for you about this article in Reuters. Was the headline is Obama to sign stem cells order on Monday.
That's right. That was in my stack.
It can be used for good, but you know that's not their intention.
Yeah, let me comment on that. Let me comment on that briefly, and I appreciate your call. We got to move quick here, callers. I apologize for that. That's in my stack. I never got to it, but I will now since you brought it up. There's no debate. They can use skin cells. They can use your own cells just as good. It's a cover story. And if you read the fine print, it's there. It isn't about stem cells. It's about being able to use fetuses and embryos in genetic experiments. That's what is being legalized. Pastor Williams?
Yes, that's exactly right, and it is immoral to the core and unbiblical.
All right, let's talk to Josh in North Carolina. Josh, you're on the air. Welcome, Josh.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Hey, guys. How are y'all doing?
Fine.
So I have something of dire importance here. While the story on avian flu broke, it was brought to the attention of many of the readers of the Prison Planet Forum that we have also uncovered, several of the moderators, anti-Illuminati and sane specifically, have come up with a lot of the evidence to back this up, that there is a plan in place to stage a false flag terror event to bring in Internet 2. And
yes, they're going to attack the Internet, the Pentagon is, to shut it down and force us to Internet 2, where the New York Times admits we will have no freedom, and Infowars.com and other sites will be gone.
Exactly. And the scale of this attack is far beyond anything else. We found some of the documents that talk about discussing this.
Yeah, the elite have to false flag their own Internet because we're killing the mainstream media. And, in fact, the great writers on the site, I've seen the material they put together on the Prison Planet Forum. They should write articles and then submit them to Kurt Nimmo and Paul Watson for posting on the main site.
Okay. Just to bring up a very dire point that's brought up here, this recent false flag about Marine One is completely, utterly bold.
Yeah, they're claiming somebody got into the Pentagon online and got the specs from Marine One, so they've got to ban the Internet because somebody got the specs from Marine One when the government's own computers are on separate nets that aren't even on the web.
Exactly. Having worked in big IT as well as done some government projects myself, I can full-heartedly vouch that it is impossible for that to occur unless they let it occur intentionally. But to sum up basically something that is very important here, by their own documents, they were saying that the type of attack that they are staging is so widespread that it could not only affect computers but almost any device plugged to the power grids, and conceivably...
That's right. They can deliver viruses over power cords because they have systems where they can deliver Internet commands and things over the Internet itself, data transmission. Look,
precisely. I have an uncle-in-law who actually worked at one of the universities here in North Carolina who helped pioneer that technology back in the 60s and 70s.
We're out of time. I'm sorry to Mercedes, Chris, and many others that are holding. In closing, Lindsey Williams, they're openly announcing they're going to shut down the old web, force us onto a new web. They've got to do it because we're exposing their criminal activities. Comments on that?
You're exactly right, Alex. And, folks, I plead with you, set your spiritual house in order. You don't have any time left to play around with what you do with Jesus Christ and the Bible. Listen to everything Alex Jones says every day, and don't you miss a single one of his programs, because 24 hours could make the difference in you knowing whether it's going to be your dinner table with food on it or not, Alex.
Lindsey, since you brought that up, it's come out in the news that 26,000 preachers, 50,000 executives are on secret FEMA payroll. We got the secret documents years ago. Now it's mainstream news. They announce it like it's no big deal. The preachers, most of them are paid off to tell their flocks to go to FEMA camps, turn in their guns, take forced inoculations. Is that biblical or is that of the New World Order?
Oh, that's what the New World Order. Don't you dare let them get hold of any information about you. I was in a church the other day, and I wanted to walk out. They wanted every information imaginable, and they said they wanted it for their files. I know exactly what they're doing with it. Turn it into FEMA. Folks, be careful of your local church. I'm a preacher of 50 years. Believe me, you must set your spiritual house in order according to the Scriptures, not according to your local pastor.
That's right. The New World Order is making its move. They've got their secret police in place everywhere, but the sleeping giant is awakened. It is rising. We will defeat the New World Order with God's help. Lindsey Williams, Godspeed. Thank you so much for joining us on this important transmission.